Old Drager's got the fire.
I've got the storm.
Fighting hip-hop queens and kings.
We're in the form.
When the rooms hit the beat, let the story soar.
Brunhilde and Droger.
Right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and Sunny Banani, everybody, and we are going through the Microsoft Excel question 3 spreadsheet question, and I just want to go back up here, and we are here at question 3, and this for me is very scary, and it's a disaster, guys. I think learners are not doing the basics, you're not following the rules, and there is too little practice that you have put into to get these skills right. Hence, we are sitting with such low figures here, guys. All right, good. So, the summary here has told me just quickly where the common trends are, guys. So I've got 12 out of my cohort who have at least reached 70% and higher. Sadly, half of them are below 50. So I've got this two big mixes of people who are getting things right, and then the others who are not. Okay, so you need to focus on getting the basics right here. Okay, guys, so I'm going to work through it again, and we'll see if we can improve our marks, especially when your NSC comes up then again. Okay, so I love the statistics. It tells you quite a bit, but you know, I've always pushed for 60% per question, and you can see that this class is way below that. So they definitely are going to have to focus on that. Right, so let's have a look at question 3, the spreadsheet. Right, so again, we have to use formula or formulae as we are busy with. You cannot just type values in, all right? You may use the building blocks, guys. That's important. Read this here when in your exam paper, and it gives you a good allocation as well, and see where you're going from there. Right, a spreadsheet was designed with some statistical information of Formula 1 races, the winners, their rankings, and a few other stats. All right, great. Open the 3 stats spreadsheet. Okay, so we're going to open that one up, and let's see what they've got. Okay, and again, guys, just look around a little bit. See what's there. Okay, and let's look at the points. All right. And let's have a look at the country. Oh, okay, and somehow, guys, just by seeing this, I can see that there's VLOOKUP coming up somewhere in the questions here. Might be wrong. Like I said, I'm working through the paper with you guys now. All right, good. But yes, just by looking around, I can see certain stuff there that could become quite important. All right. I don't know about if this is nicely aligned here. So we'll see now as we read through the question. Okie dokes. Let's go and see. Work in the seasons worksheet. Okay. Set the height of all. There we go. All the rows, which is from row 1 to 12, and we have to make it a size of 35. Okay, so here we go again. Let's go to Excel, and we're going to go from row 1 up to cell A12. We right click, good, and we go row height, and we had to set that at a size of what? 35. Good. There we go. That looks a bit better. Now things seem to be fitting in a little bit better in those columns and rows. Okay, right, let's just go check. Did we get the mark for this one? I just want to go back here. Yeah, all the rows from 1 to 12 to 35. Right, let me get my pen again, guys. Okay, and I'm sure that we are more than fine of doing that. If you did not do that, guys, you need intervention there. You're going to have to go back to grade 10 work and try and get those skills that you lost fixed before you attempt this NSC. And it's serious, guys. You can hear in my tone of my voice because it's disappointing when you see stats like that. All right, good. Hide columns. Let's go to the next one. Hide columns F, G, and H. All right, good. And that's for question 3.2. Hide columns F, G, and H. Right, so let's go back here to Excel. F, G, and H. We need to hide those. So again, on the top column, we click, we dragged, right click, and we're going to click on hide. There we go. F, G, and H has now been hidden. All right, good. Let's go back and see. Got those marks. Perfect. Right. F, G, and H has been hidden. All right, one mark there. Right. The text in column C. Now, this one is a bit trickier, guys. All right. And maybe it's a function we haven't used yet. You haven't tried it yet. You haven't explored it yet, maybe. This might be the case. Right, so the text in column C needs to display over C to E. Okay. Right. Use a spreadsheet feature to distribute the contents in column C that the years will stretch over column C to E. The years will stretch for as shown in the example below. Okay, now you may not use a copy function. Tip, use the comma as a separator. Okay. Now, guys, if you don't mind, that is already a tip. Okay. And if I may, guys, if I had my name here, right, so I'm just going to write it here. I'm going to put the comma here. Right, so just bear with me as I'm writing. Right. If I wanted to split this here in a column, right, I could use a function called text to, and I'm not going to write the whole one columns. That would split this by the comma, by this comma that's there. By the comma, it will split and force that to be in two separate cells. And the function that we use is called text to columns. Okay, very, very important, that one, guys. Okay, so let's go see if we can use text to columns to achieve this that we see here on the spreadsheet. Right, now, let's have a look at this. Right, the data that they want is in column C, guys. Right, so let's go and select the column C. Did you notice that they said tip was comma separator? Now look here, we've got 2001, comma, 2003 to 2018, comma. Can you see that? That's the separators. Okay, 1980 to 1992, then separated. Another year was 1994 to 1995. Can you see that, guys? Now, to get this across these columns here, we're going to use that function now called text to columns. So let's go data, and here we can see text to columns. See that? Right, I'm going to click it. Now, the prompt or the wizard will open up and it will say, right, we want delimited. Yes, it's not a fixed width because you can see these widths are all different. Okay, so it's not a fixed width, it's delimited. All right, characters such as a comma or tab separate each field. That's what it says there. Let's go next. Right, and of course we want to tick comma. Okay, we don't have to use tabs, but we can say comma separated. Okay, right, let's go next. Right, now very easy. All that we need to do now is tell it where to put when it's separated that. And they told us in the exam paper that it will be between column C, D, and E. All right, so let's go into this little arrow, and we're going to select our range there. I'm just going to pause there that you can just see what I've done. Right, are you guys happy? That's where it's going to then break column C apart into its different columns that it must put into. Okay, let's push enter. Right, it's going to say to you, right, then we can hit for finish. All right, and guess what? There is already data there. We know that because here we're replacing it. So let's just go, okay. Boom, and there we go. And we are 100% correct using text to columns. Are you guys happy with that, people? All right, rewind this video or this section if you just want to see how we did that again. All right, so text to columns would separate using a comma, and that's it. Or maybe even tabs. It depends what data they are giving you there. All right, good. So I'm going to be happy that I've got that one there. So let's go back here. And I think I've explained that very nicely, and hence it's only 2 marks. Right, it was only 2 marks there. But a lot of learners got this one wrong. Okay, and I hope I've explained that out nicely. That the comma is really, really important there. That's the separator, and they said they use the comma as a separator. And now, if you've never done this before, I'm glad that you've seen that, and you'll be able to do that now going up in the future. All right, we're going to continue with this question. Work in the points worksheet. Right, what are we doing now? Calculate the average points that the teams achieved in cell B2. And that's not all. Ensure that the answer automatically rounds off to 1 decimal place. Okay, so guys, we are using 2 things here. All right, and I'm going to write over here. The first one, number 1, is the average. Right, average formula. But not only that, we are also going to have to bring in the round function. Okay, those 2 is what is important for that. Okay, it makes sense. How many decimal places, comma, what did they say? Round off to 1 decimal place. 1. All right, did you see that, guys? I'm just making myself a little note here. Okay, right, so let's go and do this one. So we're going to look at in the average points in cell B2. Let's go over to B2. And we've got to look at the points section. Right, B2. This is where we are focusing on. All right, so let's go and do this. Equals average, right? And what did they want? The points. Am I right, guys? So let's go and grab the points. Okay, there they are. Right, and we can close our bracket there. All right, good. Now I'm going to go a bit slower. That, people can learn as we carry on. It's intervention. Right, so at the moment our average is 15. Right, now there's one thing that's missing, as they say, they still want it to be rounded. Okay, so let's go and do this. Right, so all that we need to do is, again, go to the formula, and we're going to add the function round, okay, to that, and we must remember that we're going to give it a certain amount of decimals that it needs to round off, so comma 1 at the end, right, and that should give us our final answer that we needed there, and that was not difficult, guys. There's the formula there. So it's F3 to F24, and we've got the comma 1 with the round function in there. Right, you cannot do this, guys. This does not classify as rounding, where you use the decimal places here to reduce or add. That's not the rounding off that they're looking for. Okay, guys, are you happy with that so far, grade 12s? Okay. All right, so let's go and give myself the marks there again. I think that is important. All right, it just tells you how you're going with the exam. Right, so round off to 2 decimal places. So I'm quite happy with that one. That's 3 marks there on that piece. Okay, guys, right, next one. 3.5. Use a function. Let's go get our little highlights again, use a function in cell E2. Okay, so it is a function still, it's calculation, right, in cell E2 to determine how many teams in column E have the word bull or bulls in the name. Ah, all right. So this goes back to our JIT training, guys. All right. Now, can you see there again, if you don't mind, I've either got a single bull or I've got bulls. Can you see that? So that's like the men and the womans that time when we were doing the JIT training there. Okay. So we are looking at adding in a wildcard. Okay. Wildcard is important. Okay. And bulls. Right, and another wild card. Okay, that is what we are looking at in our formula. And what are we doing? We are determining which is going to be a count function. Right, but it's a CountIf. Why are we using a CountIf? Because it's bulls. Okay, not just count. Okay, guys, CountIf. And you can see that they're not giving us a lot of marks for this anymore. So in June, July, they gave you quite a couple of marks because you were using the wildcard. And now they're saying, oh, no, that's a standard. We're not going to give you that many marks for this. So it's only 2 marks. Okay, so let's use a function in cell E2, and let's go do this. Right, so here I am, guys. And again, I just wanted to show you what I mean for those people who didn't go into training and are confused with this. All right, so let me just go and get a pen open here quickly again. What can I write in? Right, I'm going to try this pinkish kind of a color here. Right, and if you look here, guys, can you see? They wanted bull. So can you see this one? There's the word bull. Right, so I just want to turn on my drawing function here. I just want to work through this with you that you guys understand. Right, can you see bulls there? Is number 1. It's the first count of that. Then we've got bulls here is number 2. Sorry, bull, bulls, bulls, and bull. And you see that? So I'm seeing 4 here so far. Let's go down and see if we can see any more. All right, no, so that's correct. Okay, so let's go use our CountIf function now and also the wildcard. All right, good. So let's go there. Let's go to FX. Right, let's open this one up and we are looking for CountIf. We set our range and our range is from the top and we end there. So it's E3 to E24. Nothing complicated there. Right, let's push enter. Now my criteria is what is important. And the criteria in this case is going to be, let's open our inverted comma. Oops. Let me quickly go fix this one. It's just a change on my computer here. Right, so inverted commas, we are looking for star, wildcard, capital B-U-L. Right, bull. Right. Okay, and another star to add the bulls. Okay, right, and we can close our inverted comma. And there is our answer, and the answer there is 4. Okay, and that was using the wildcard within the formula, and there we can see we are spot on correct. Right, guys, again, you can rewind the video, and you can have a look how we did that. And again, read the question. Okay, question is important there. All right, and that was quite sad because that is something we spent a lot of time on in JIT, and I also now spent quite a bit of time in class on wildcards as well. All right, but that is what it is, and this is where we are at. And you know what, we got to just fix before our prelim starts. Okay, right, so I'm quite happy with that one, and it's only 2 marks though, guys. So you can see they are reining in, making it a little bit more tougher. Right, good. Next one, 3.6. Use a function in cell D3 to determine the country of the driver based on the nationality of the drivers. Use the country worksheet. Copy the function down, okay, to the rest of the column. All right, so that should tell you straight away, guys, here. Now again, it's up to you. VLOOKUP, and that's what I said earlier on, or XLOOKUP. Now, you can decide which one you want to use there, but I'm going to go with VLOOKUP here. All right, so we're using a function in cell D3 to determine the country of each driver based on the nationality. All right, that's important. So we're looking at country, the nationality, use the country worksheet. Okay, good. Right, so let's go and do this one. So what we're looking for is the VLOOKUP function. Okay, guys, so fx. Let's go for VLOOKUP. There we go. Now, what is my lookup value? We are looking at the nationality of the person, aren't we? So the nationality will be this block here, C3. You guys happy with it? Right, look in C3. If ITA or Italy is there, right, look in the array, and the array is under the country, and remember I said you don't pick the headings. All right, we're going to select that range there. There it is. Okay, let's push enter. Not done yet. I'll get there now. Right, good. The column index number, if it finds it, we are looking in column 2. Okay, why did I say column 2? Because the other one is this. The first column was the abbreviation, but we wanted it to display the country that is there. Okay, which was in column 2. And it must be exact. So we're going to go false here. Right, and we can see that it's giving me the word Italy. All right, guys. Now, before I push enter, I want you to realize that we've got to copy this down, which means we need to lock our cells. We need to make them absolute. All right, guys. So I'm going to go to F2. Between F2, I'm going to push F4. There, it's locked, that one. And between B and 23, I'm also going to push F4. And then I know that those are locked. Are you happy with that, grade 12s? Okay, then we go okay, because that range doesn't change. All right, now we can copy down. There we go, and there we have the answers for column D. All right, what do you think, guys? That was really nice and quick. It didn't take a long time to work that one out, guys. Okay, so let's go back to our question paper there. Again, you can rewind and you can do, but I was very happy with that one. 5 marks very quickly in your pocket there. All right, just important that you understand where the data is coming from, okay? And if you don't mind, I've just got the memo open here, and you can clearly see what they are doing there. You know, let me just go to comment here, and let's go to the link, or ink at least. We used VLOOKUP. Right, we saw that the cell was C3, what we were looking for. The array was that, but can you see where the absolute referencing came in there? The dollar signs are there. All right, and then we set column index 2, and then we used autofill, which then dropped that down. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 marks there for that specific question. So that was nice. Right, we're back to question 3.7. Okay, good. Right, 3.7 says what? Modify. That means there's already one there. So you know what, guys, that's what's nice with CAT, is the questions are so explanatory if you just spend the time reading all at once. Modify. So don't go and create a new query now, guys. A new query, listen to me. A new function if it's already there. Right, what are we modifying? Right, the conditional formatting. Okay. So we know we've got to do, it looks at the condition and it says, all right, could we bring in patterns, colors, lines, icons to help make data reading easier? That's what conditional formatting is, based on a condition. Right. Applied in column F, okay, to display a midpoint, okay, number of 30. All right. Okay. So let's go look at this rule that they've got there. Right, so again, guys, I'm going to go back home. Here we are, conditional formatting, and I'm going to go manage rules. Okay, now remember to change this to the worksheet, right, and there you will see it now. Okay, people don't do that. All right, and they try and create a rule and all kinds of funny things. You got to be on this worksheet because this is what we are working on. All right, okay. Now we can go edit the rule. And guess what? It's so easy to find this. Right, we are looking for two things here. Right, we are looking for midpoint is not a percentage. It is a number. Okay, remember, they didn't say percentage. It's a number. And what are we looking for? We're looking for number 30. That's what they said there. Okay. Right. Let's just quickly confirm. Just want to check. Right. Modify the conditional formatting applied to column F to display a midpoint number. So not percentage. That's what I was saying. Of 30. Okay. And that we've done here now. Midpoint number 30. Let's go OK, and let's go apply, and let's go OK, and you'll see there that it has changed that. Okay, are you guys happy with it? All right, good stuff. Let's go give ourselves the 2 marks there. Again, you can go through the paper and see where you've got to rewind and do. All right, so modified it, yes, and we did the midpoint, and we did the 30, so that is 2 marks right there for me again. Are you guys happy with that? All right, so guys, not always that difficult. You just got to read the question paper and understand what you're doing. So practice, 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 practice. Okay, now this is the one that looks a little bit more violent. Okay. This one seems like a little bit more work here. That's the 6 marks here. Okay, good. Now it says use a combination. Now guys, again, combination means nested. Right, so you know, I'm just going to write here nested. Nest. It's a nested function because it's a combination. Okay, of functions in cell, what? C3? To generate a special code. Oh, yes. So here we go. They've got to use the AND to join things together, or we can use concatenate. One of the two. All right. For Kimi Antonelli, by using the driver's name and nationality. Okay. By using the driver's name and the nationality. Okay, so let's go and have a look what we've got. All right, so let's go and see here in C3, whatever. Right, grade 12s. Let's have a look at this. Please make note of column B. Can you see that you've got the name and surname together? Now, I can remember in the JIT training showing you guys how to split that. All right, and again, I'm going to use building blocks. Your building blocks really help us out quite a bit, and it allows your brain to split this up into sections, which will help you get the answers and culminate to us getting this answer here. Okay, guys? All right. So Important to take a look how we did this. Right, now we want to find the space first, guys. All right, because that's the common. Can you see that? The common is space. If you look around here, you've got a name and a surname, but the common denominator in this case is the space, again, between the name and the surname. There's spaces. Okay, so let's go again. Equals, right? And we're going to type in the word find. Right, there we go. There it is. Okay, and to do a space again, we have to put it in inverted commas, use our space bar, and we want to find the space in where, comma, which block? In column B3. Right, that's what we're after. All right, let's close our bracket now. Right, and please tell me, what have we got? It's telling me we've got 5. All right, so let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that's not right. Okay, if I copy this down, it's going to be a problem. Right, look, it's counting the space. Did you see that? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it is saying. So we know it can't be that. All right, we need to minus 1 here. We need to subtract that space to give me the exact name that's there in the block. Right, so grade 12, that kind of like makes sense. Eh? We need to subtract the space. Now to subtract the space, very easy. Surely we can just go back to our formula here and say minus 1. Okay, that, let's check, is now going to give me an answer of 4. There are 4 characters in the name. And if I come down now, let's copy down. We're showing the examiner that we are happy with that. All right, there we can see. Let's quickly go and count here. Let's check column A4 here and check if George Russell is correct then. 6 characters. Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Beautiful. All right, now the next part is really quite easy now. Now we got to just basically get it to produce or show me the name now. All right, good. So let's think very carefully. The name is on the left-hand side of the column. Okay, so let's go do this. Equals left, to the left for me, please. Right, there it is, equals left, of which cell? Right, so left, we're going to say B3 is our cell. Right, now, how many spaces must it show? And that's the calculation we've done here in column I. So, comma, and I'm going to click on I3. Right, there it is. Okay, I then close my bracket, and I've got the name Kimmy. Perfect. Right, let's copy down. Right, let's see. Is it going to give me just the names right now? Yes. And there they are. So Kimmy, George, Charles, Lewis, Lando, Oscar, Oliver. Yes, beautiful. That looks great. Last part of this is we need to bring in the nationality, which is quite plain and simple. We can just go equals, okay, and give me the C3 column. See where I went? C3 equals C3. There it is. Let's push enter. And again, we know those are right. We can copy down. Perfect. There they are. And guess what? The last part that we need to do is join up what we've got. Okay. So to join up again, we can go equals. We can say Kimmy. And we use the ampersand and K3. Those are the two that we want together. So equals J3 and K3. Push enter. And there we have got the name and just the abbreviation. And we can copy this down. That's what they wanted to do. There we go. And we can see there's no change in that. It's perfect. Okay, guys, that is using building blocks. And again, we are joining together. Either you could use concatenate two, guys, if you're better with that one. But I'm quite happy with the answer on this one here. And again, you can rewind the video if you wanted to and see how I did that again. But I'm very happy that I've got those answers there. And that is definitely, let me just ink this one out here. I've got the Kita or the Kimi ITA or the Charles Mon or whatever the case may be, and that allowed me for 6 marks there, and I was very happy that I have now aced this 22 mark question paper there. Guys, what do you think? All right, check back with me again, drop me a comment, tell me how you went in the exam. Did you get this one right? Yeah, guys, I hope the videos are helping. Please like and subscribe. Guys, really, you can see I'm putting effort in. Least we can do is like and subscribe. That helps a little bit to build the channel, which is great for all cat learners then, as they're preparing for NSC. Thanks, guys.